What's going on, everybody? Everybody out there. It's the G-Man in the studio again with Kel on What's the Matter? Podcast show. This is episode 38. What's the Matter with Comedians? Volume 2. Got to remember Volume 2. I'm hearing some sort of echo. I don't know what's going on there. Let me try something. No, that's better. No? I still got one.
I'm muted. So.
That is interesting. Let me see. Check 1, 2.
No, I think it's gone now.
It was me. Look at me talking shit, Kel. Talking shit to you. And then it was me.
Oh, you have got to be kidding me.
One of these days, we're going to figure this out.
I'm going to learn.
We're not audio experts yet. We're getting there.
I'm going to learn from my mistakes. All right. We are, as I was mentioning, episode 38. What's the Matter with Comedians? Volume 2. So today's episode, we're here for some laughs, girl. And we're still going to be asking questions that matter, just with some, hopefully some punchlines, stuff like that. I have something, that's built for that, Oh yeah. Punchline, yeah. So in the studio today to help us on the professional comedian side, we do have some, he's known as Slingin' Sammy Solorio, Come on, Sammy.
Yo, what's up?
Yeah. Oh,
there we go. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Me work.
I was waiting for the that's what I requested.
I'm not on my game today. Was this part of his rider? Had to have
it's in the contract.
Timely sound effects. He's a drummer. So I got.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
A professional drummer.
Yeah.
And then we have also Stephen Molman. And we have to get him some legit stuff. There's God, why? This is like the old. This is the old one. That's what it is. Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, exactly. I got some laughs up and stuff. And if you guys tell a bad joke, we got the. It sounds like a soccer game, though, huh, Sam?
Yeah, feel right at home.
Yeah, it feels like I'm playing FIFA.
I love it. So we're gonna be cutting it up with these guys, but before we get started, as we always do, just make sure that I don't forget. I want to give sponsor shout outs to World Matters Incorporated, the sponsors who house us here at the Matterhorn Studios, of course, creator and producer, Big Bongo Productions, and then also special shout outs to our local FM compadres, KPGF 93.7 FM, and of course their family of shows. And so let's get into this first block here, Kel. What do you think?
Let's do it.
And just so everybody knows, she got her water heater fixed. Oh my goodness!
Finally got it straightened out. Thank you, Pascal's Plumbing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a little secret.
Yes,
right
is great. They were really, really good.
Now, Sammy, let me start with you first, my brother. Okay, so Reno Tahoe, comic, comedian. And so I want to talk about you and I, our first family vibe. So back if you recall, when did we first meet? Like 2015?
Maybe a little. Yeah, it was a while. Yeah. You picked me up outside of the Home Depot and looking for somebody to work.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Wait,
you didn't have to worry about ice or
We're just out there.
You were day laboring?
Yeah, and then I had my resume. He picked it up.
So remember, these guys are comedians. You don't know, where he's going to be,
I'm a little distracted because I'm putting our Facebook post out there. So I'm like half listening going, wait, what?
No, our band, we weren't looking for a drummer though. So
for the hustle, man.
No, we met because this is a true story, Kel. So we were looking for a drummer. And so we found this guy on Craigslist. And
was it Craigslist? No, it was on Facebook.
So funny.
Oh, of course, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we have a little bit of history. We've known each other about 11 years. We've got some good war stories, kind of on the road every once in a while and performing. We had a good run. About 13 years, I think, was the entire lifespan of the band. But Sammy, I met him. He was kind of a package deal with his cousin Saul. The first thing is just like, okay, we can't work with anybody because first of all, you are older. You're old enough to be our dad. But you have to be able to pronunciate Sororio and Saul.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're trying to start a reggae band.
Yeah, right.
You got to know how to roll your R's and, get the young ones.
Especially when, like, you guys see me, I think, what was I, probably like 48, something like that at the time. 48-year-old white guy, saying we're going to have a little reggae. Now, I didn't want to of course, insult the culture. There was no white guy with dreads. Give me that. There was no white guy with dreads. We didn't go like full scale reggae. It was like a little fusion. And
yeah, it was a respect thing. It was like we respect that
absolutely
that vibe, and that's what we were going for, I think.
Yeah.
So there was no, I don't think, and I
did chill people.
Yeah,
chill people. We had fun, but that's how we met. Now moving over to the other side of the table, Mr. Molman, Steven. Now you, of course, have been doing local comedy for a while, and we met you at a German place.
Yeah.
So give those guys a little shout out real quick. Talk about Tomas and the crew over there.
Yeah, so we met at Prost Beer Garden. It's a German bar across the street from Atlantis and next to Old Town Mall.
It's not just a bar.
It's
They
a
have
bar and
some
German food.
Vanilla food.
We have some. If you like German food, this is the place to go to get some German food.
Their schnitzel is to die for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
My dad was stationed in Germany in the army, so he had a thing for German food. And so when they opened, I was just like, oh, I wish he was still here. He would be there every week.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's we get a lot of veterans that come in that were stationed in Germany. A ton of people, and they're super appreciative.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, super cool.
We have such a great veteran community here.
So now they do, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, throughout the interview there. And they do comedy shows there. We'll be giving you guys some information on that, but there's some things coming up. And so the first, let's hop back to Sammy. Okay, so you're jamming in a band. I was there, not there, but I can remember when he met his wife. Now they have a couple beautiful children. He's, definitely dealing with that proverbial ball and chain. I can see it in his face. And
see the text messages I was just reading as I came in.
But Jamie is awesome. She always supported her man. 2020, he fractured his leg, and we didn't know it at the time, but it was kind of like the beginning of the end, for the band. We, kind of got through that season. Yeah.
Yeah, broke my ankle in Vegas. I don't even know. 38.
Okay, I was going to say, you look really young.
37. It's the bleached hair, midlife crisis.
Yeah.
You're playing with these old farts over here.
Yeah.
Did you do that because did you do that right after a Bad Bunny Super Bowl?
Oh, no, I've had it before. He took it from me, actually.
Get it right. Let's get the influence right, man.
So listen, let's talk. I want to do a little origin story around with you guys. And of course, we went through their background a little bit. So let's talk about, I'm going to ask you guys a question and answer it one at a time. Steven, you go first. Okay. So now, how long have you been doing comedy now?
Been doing comedy about 5 years.
5 years. And Sammy, you're about the same?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. So both you guys will get this.
You, Steven, just as you were getting started. Because I first met you at Luke's thing at Blind Onion with Dave Mancarelli.
Oh, that's what you saw me with that.
Dave
Mancarelli.
There.
I was doing
that
comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You did? Because I
thought you were Stephen Wright. You were so deadpan, and you just reminded me of Stephen Wright, and I'm just like, oh, this guy is so good.
I've never been compared to Stephen Wright before.
Well, you weren't even going for it, and that's what you pulled off. That's genius.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought this one's going to be really good in our scene because you're so different from everybody else we had.
Good. I like being different.
Origin story. Okay. So let me ask you this, Steven. So when I got 5 bullet points here with you guys. So when did you realize that you were funny? When's the
that's a thing that I've never realized yet. I've never realized that I'm
after
funny.
5 years, there has to be a point where just like, hey, I'm kind of funny.
I guess there's moments where I realize I'm funny.
Think you're funny?
I think I'm funny to myself, but to the rest of the world, I don't know.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Well, isn't that the most important thing? If you think you're funny to yourself?
I do things that make me laugh, and then I just hope that other people laugh as well.
That's a good strategy to stay happy.
Yeah.
Now, when did you know you were funny, Sammy? Was it in one of our rehearsals or?
No, I mean, I've always been, it sounds so dumb, but I've always been kind of like the class clown. Not that I knew that I was funny. I just liked making people laugh, acting like a fool, One of my friends, my best friend, he's the one who started stand-up, and he's the one who told me that it was something I should try. It was never on my radar. I loved stand-up comedy. I've watched, all the Mexican greats growing up, obviously, George Lopez and stuff like that. But it was nothing that I ever wanted to pursue.
Yeah, it just happened. I love it. Now, when did you, let's go 180 degrees. When did you realize that you could bomb while performing comedy?
I knew that immediately I could bomb. I knew immediately. When I was getting ready to like go up on stage for the first time, I wasn't sure if I was able to do it. But in Reno, I went to the first couple of open mics that I saw. And the first couple of open mics, it was just comedians performing for themselves. And they were just eating shit. They were bombing. And then that inspired me. I'm like, oh, wait, I can be bad? I can do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was allowed to be bad at comedy. I can just do that. That's what gave me confidence to do stand-up. I knew I could be bad immediately.
What about you, Sammy? When did you know you could bomb and be okay?
Oh, immediately. I think your first comedy and open mics and stuff like that are really tricky when you're first starting. You start off kind of doing what you would call a bringer show, where it's like they kind of set up these open mics at the beginning when I was around, where it was a competition. Whoever got the most laughs would win a certain amount of money, and then you would get like the prime spot the next show. And it was so tricky, though. It sounds great on paper.
Yeah.
But what happens is you get your whole friends and family to show up that night. Obviously, they're going to laugh at everything you say. The next night, when you get 15 minutes and you're just a brand new person and nobody
knows you, you don't have that. Yeah.
You don't have that backup.
Built-in support.
Oh, it's so volatile the way comedy works. I've told people there's days where I think I'm going to be a rock star and I'm like, I'm made for this. I'm built for this. I'm going to, go viral and whatever, open for whoever, do this. And then there's nights where I've literally cried myself on my way from the comedy club to my house within like a span of 2 weeks. Maybe.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, that's how crazy it can be, where you're like, you were great at this show and then you just could not crack a smile at the next one.
It's not an exact science. Yes.
Yeah.
And so now how about this? So let me back to you, Steven. What's your first, we talk about failing, of course, bombing. Now, what's your first great set memory and your worst? Give us both. Let's say, hey, this was my best. This was my worst. When did that happen?
Oh, first great set was probably at a Blind Onion show. I ended up getting a featured spot doing 15 minutes before the headliner, and I did super well. I was like super stoked, and it was great. I did really well. It felt like for the first time, actually had well-written jokes, and it felt like I actually had a structure to my material as well. So that was probably the first time. That was probably like a year and a half into doing stand-up or so. But the worst one was when I flew down to LA and I did a set at the Comedy Store.
Oh, man.
At the potluck show there. I spent $780 on a one-way ticket there, and I bombed for 3 minutes in front of a crowd, and then I had to immediately fly back the next day. That was my absolute worst.
Like, were you thinking, like, what am I?
Absolutely.
This story is crazy because the Comedy Store is like the mecca.
Right.
That's where you want to go.
Yeah.
If you're in, that's where like,
pinnacle.
yeah, Mitzi Shore started with
yeah.
Sammy Shore, Pauly Shore. It's where all these greats came from. Letterman, Jay Leno,
Very
Richard
famous.
Pryor.
Very
I think
famous.
this is the place, and probably when you started, it's probably the rise of like comedy. Everybody's like comedy's so popular at the time.
How'd you get the gig?
So the potluck show is technically their version of like an open mic, right? So after the pandemic started, they would do email submissions.
Okay.
So I was sending an email every week for like a year and a half.
Wow.
I was assuming I was never going to get on, but then there was one morning where I was laying in bed and I got an email saying I got it. And the thing that sucks about it is you find
have to
out
know right then.
Yeah, because you find out the same day whether or not you get on the list, which is a problem because I live in Reno.
Yeah,
so I had to find a one-way ticket immediately straight to LA that would get there by like 5 o'clock. The only ticket that they had left was a first-class flight, so I had to spend. I spent $750 on a first-class
From here, from Reno?
from Reno to LA.
My God.
And here's the thing, because of the nature of all of this, I was like blowing it up in my mind, right? I was like, this is the dream.
This is
I'm
gonna be
flying
my big
first
shot.
class to LA. Like, this is like a dream. I did sets at Punchline in SAC and Laughs Unlimited in SAC as well. And I did well on those comedy clubs shows as well. So I was like, oh my God, everything's coming together.
It's happening.
Everything's coming together.
I need an
I'm
agent.
gonna do first. I'm flying first. Yeah, I'm going to get all these connections, and I'm gonna kill in front of all these big comedians, and they're gonna talk to me and stuff. And then I get to the show, and I barely make it And then every comedian before me on the show was just tanking and tanking.
They were bad too.
They were really bad. And then the comedian right before me killed. And I'm like, okay, there's hope. There's momentum, there's hope.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up and kill it. I go up on stage, and after the very first joke, the keyboardist does bow, 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 and claps all over my opens, claps all over my first joke. And then I eat it for another, of course. And again, for this Pollock show, it's only 3 minutes of stage time. So if you mess, if
you get psyched out,
you're psyched out. You're I wasn't even psyched up. I was just like, well, that was annoying, but I kept on trucking.
Right.
But like I bombed in front of a Comedy Store crowd.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, then afterwards, the exact opposite. Like Sammy Solario was, I was at riding high, saying I'm flying first class to the Comedy Store, and then I ended up staying over at one of my friends' place. And she just moved into the place, and it wasn't a good place to be living in at the moment.
It was in the ghetto.
It smelled
the LA ghetto.
It was in a nice area. It just, she didn't do, like, it smelled like cat shit.
Oh.
And there was food everywhere. The bed I slept on was covered in ants, so I was sleeping on a bed.
She wasn't the best housekeeper.
Not at that point in time. She is now. She was just having a rough time, and I appreciate her for picking me up from the airport and all these things and letting me stay. But sleeping on a bed of ants after bombing, after spending $750 to bomb, and then sleeping on a bed sleeping on a bed of ants messes you up for weeks. Because you still feel them. It made me schizophrenic feeling.
Yes.
I still felt them crawling on me.
Oh, you poor thing.
And it was, so that was absolutely my rock bottom. And don't worry.
That is the story of Steven.
That is one hell of a, that's going to be a good one.
Episode.
Well, yeah, when you finally write the book, that's going to be amazing.
If he would have crushed that night, those bed would have been like he was in the freaking in a penthouse somewhere.
Building
they were just be resting his heads on those ants.
Yeah.
Him like Caesar.
I would be the new queen.
Now, when did you two meet? What happened that night?
What
do you remember? When did you and Steve?
I don't know when specifically we first met. The first time I saw you was before I started doing comedy. You were bartending for a Reno Tahoe show.
Yeah.
At the Pioneer Underground.
Right.
I guess that was the first time I met you.
Yeah, you hosted over there a long time.
Because I remember it was a Andrew K show where he came and was performing there.
Right.
Yeah. And then I think John White and like Brandon Straker was there too. That's when I first.
Was Sammy on the bill that night, or was he taking care of the bar?
I think he was on the bill as well.
He was on the bill.
Yeah. But he didn't, I mean, we didn't really know each other. He just gave me a beer and then I just sat down. But I don't know when I actually sat down and talked to you. I don't remember for sure.
I'm sure it's probably just, sometime at some bar or some open mic or something. And we crossed paths and, try to keep, meeting him was,
Yeah.
Was it a good thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's put me on shows. He actually gave me my first headlining spot where I was able to test my time and figure out that I'm able to do more than what I really thought. So I'm really grateful that I was able to meet Moman and have that connection with him. And,
it's all about connections, baby. All about connections. Hey, so Sammy, you know how like in the band days we would have like routines, right?
Yeah.
For sure. Kind of it would drive you crazy.
Yeah.
And I would always have different routines, and I don't know again if it bugged you guys, but what do you do? What's your 10 minutes before you go on stage? Is there any kind of
pants and to this day, I've been doing this 10 years, and I will just pace back and forth, just tell myself how much I suck and I'm not good at this and I shouldn't be up there and why am I doing this? I get so nervous. I'll have to pee. I'll have to go to the bathroom. And then I get on stage and I touch that mic and it just all goes away. But for those 10 minutes, I'm sitting there and I can't even process what I'm going to, I'll have an idea of what jokes I'm going to do and stuff like that. But I just get so nervous. I have this anxiety that I probably don't show, but I just get so anxious.
Do you think it's like, is it anxiety or more adrenaline? You know?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think the adrenaline
It's a trigger. You got a story. So whenever you hit that, your body, it's muscle memory. Your body pulls you into that.
Yeah.
You can break that if you want.
Yeah.
Does it help you?
Honestly, it helps me.
Okay.
It's that thing.
Some people can use that and it
Nervous
helps.
It's that thrive under pressure sort of
Yeah.
thing. I've always kind of done that where any sort of thing, it's like I'm down to the, I procrastinate a lot too. So it's
ADHD?
like, yeah. So down to the wire, and then, last couple seconds, I'm like, oh, I'm going to pull through. So I think that's what it is. And I've heard a lot of comics, so I've talked to them about it. And they say when that goes away, it's when you're probably done. And I know a lot of these 20-year, 25-year comics that are like, dude, I feel the same exact way every single time. They're like, I'd actually be worried if I start to felt that go away.
Interesting. Yeah. That's very interesting.
I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm going over my set in my head, and sometimes I'm looking at my phone or my notes or whatever. But the more anxious I am, the more I actually tend to do well, because I think it shows that I really care, and it's like I really need to do well. And so then, but like it's the same thing with me as well. Well, once I get on stage, just a switch flips, and it's like, all right, just showtime, time to do it.
Yeah.
You start channeling.
Versus, you talked about performing out of town, of course, and you perform out of town. So what is it about where we are here in Reno? What makes Reno crowds different than from where you go out of town?
I guess it's just there's so many shows, so you're going to see a lot of the same faces a lot, and obviously comedy. It's not what it seems. I think a lot of people have this perception that comedy is this person who goes up there and is just telling you this in the moment story that he just built up in his head.
No, there's a lot of preparation,
and there's a lot of so it's a routine.
Yeah.
It's almost like a script. To some people, you're going word. I mean, I know people who go up there and time themselves word for word. So I guess the difference between going out of town and being here, for me, one is that it can be repetitive, maybe to the regular person who's coming to most of the shows and stuff like that.
There's a comfort in that, though. We like that as regulars. There's something in that for us too, as the audience, where like, oh, it's that joke again, or it's coming, and there's something there with that, because I feel that. So that's a thing.
So no, because in our heads we're thinking, damn it, they're seeing the same thing.
Don't think. No.
Gosh,
I actually, I accidentally heckled Kevin Valentine.
Okay.
Because he has this great joke about sweet tea, if you've ever seen him. And I saw him at, what was our club in Dallas? Not Laugh Factory. It was
the Improv?
Men's Club?
The Improv. No, the Improv. And
Peppermint Hippo.
And he starts the build up, and I'm ADHD, so I involuntarily I go, sweet tea, and the look on his face, I was like, oh shit.
That's actually like that's something that you don't want to do.
I didn't mean to do that. I apologized to him afterwards.
So that's kind of some unexpected energy. I like, and again, I don't know if you guys like him. It's not like I follow him or anything like that. But of course, one of the more recent successful, Matt Rife. So, but I do love how he's able to just kind of, again, riff off the
cuff.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You can take a heckler, and then actually just create a bit, that's consistently, I should say, consistently, and then of course incorporate that as part of your act.
Yeah,
and so as far as like the best venue energy, what's can you think of a venue that had just like this amazing energy, or the opposite where it was just the toughest? You kind of mentioned one of the toughest experiences that you have, but let's think about the room, right? The room that you guys have been performing. Is anything stand out where it's just like, hey, consistently, man, there's just good vibes there, or there's consistently a tough crowd?
Are you talking about in Reno specifically? Well, comedy clubs are always going to be different. Comedy clubs are like a kind of like a safe haven, quote, for comedy. So they're always going to be a lot better. But there's some rooms in Reno that are amazing. Like the open mic at Midnight Coffee Roasting has been really solid consistently as well.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Absolutely. So there's a couple of them. I mean, despite me bombing at the Comedy Store, that room is absolutely incredible. If any comedians ever here get the chance to bomb like I do there, please do, because bombing even in your favorite place is a experience you don't want to. Yeah.
Speaking of bombing,
Oh.
you guys hear that?
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
That's why we have this. So this segment right here is called Laughing Crickets. So it's a kind of spin off of the G-Men telling sometimes dad jokes, but we are going to kind of ascertain whether these things are funny or not, and that's where the laughing crickets. You're either going to laugh or there's going to be crickets. So what we have here today, of course, is what's the matter with comedians, and of course, according to Kel's instructions, she says, hey, for the laughing cricket section, you should always try to get jokes about the content, the topics that we're talking about. So kind of keeping this in mind today, because the first one, why do people that have no arms make bad comedians?
Why?
Well, because they haven't got a funny bone in their body. See, they kind of laughed. Is that, I mean,
Hearing these kind of jokes just stress me out.
I like them. I like street jokes, and they're funny. I think they're just so corny that they kind of make me.
Exactly. That's it. That's it right there.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to use these in your bit, Stephen. But now,
I'm really upset because the moment you told me I wasn't going to, now I want to.
hey, actually, now Sammy, you may like this one. Okay, so speaking of comedians, right? The question, like, I was thinking, why are so many of the late night comedians that have passed, the older ones, I'm sorry, why are many late night comedians nowadays normally skewed? We don't talk politics here, by the way. Yeah, unless we're making fun of them, and which is what I'm doing right now. So question is, why are many late night comedians normally skewed a little bit towards the left wing party? Because all the right wing viewers have to work in the morning.
That's funny.
I like it.
See?
I like that one. I like that one.
They're up doing comedy, so that one makes sense, Now, speaking of, I mentioned it too early, but the famous comedians who have passed away, like Johnny Carson, Carlin, guys like they kind of, they would probably have some major issues these days, speaking of the woke people. The ones that have passed would have an issue with the woke people. Bill Cosby, for instance.
I got it. That's funny.
It's too delayed, man. See, Kel, she's just being all stoic and shit over there, man. You got to think about that one, huh?
You got to think about it. Because I think the way you delivered it.
I know.
It felt like you were going to say something else.
I know.
It felt like it wasn't a punchline.
Yeah.
I was like waiting for something else.
I keep chopping these things up. I'm getting feedback from professionals today, and I appreciate that because I do struggle. I guess that's part of the fun, though.
Yeah.
Kel, that's part of the fun here. Mm-hmm. Now, Sammy here, I was watching one of his YouTube videos, and you remember like that vignette that I was showing you about? You were joking about like your job as a human trafficker.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
So it's like he was.
We all do our service.
Thank you for yours.
For your service.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I just transport children all day.
There you go.
I used to
Recruited. Wait, are you a bus driver?
No, I traffic them. I'm just kidding. No, I work for like the I don't even know if I should say this shit.
No, not if you don't want to. Yeah, I wouldn't bring up my job.
Yeah. I used to work in hard labor, like real men, but now I don't. Now I just drive. I'm like a glorified Uber.
Okay.
Yeah.
With children.
Yeah, with children. For the
legally. He was paying, he's a human trafficker legally. And it made me remember this one time. I was shipping professional comedians across the country, but it took way too long. And because they said it was bad timing, but great delivery. What?
That was cute.
You guys feel sorry for me. I think that's what's going on there. Now, fortunately,
no, I like that.
You like that one? Okay, I think that's the last one.
That was good.
I wanted to give you guys most of the sunshine today. So
yeah, no.
Yeah, don't ever upstage me.
All right, now let's you guys probably haven't listened to the show. If you did in just a little bit, you know what I mean. But we try to, no matter what we're talking about, don't we, Kel? We try to provide some good tools for people to use in their life. She's a certified master life coach, and so there's a lot of times, and I'm a coach.
Yeah,
there's
that's right.
teacher. I'm a teacher, and so we're always trying to do this. So what I want you guys to do, think of, again, the comedy as being, again, a truth delivery system. So I want to give you guys a little showcase here. And so take a few minutes to tell a cleanish, you can, again, just be yourself. You can a cleanish story with a lesson, right? So I'm going to give you a prompt, and then I want you to tell a personal, it doesn't have to be about comedy, open-ended. It's your life, okay? Okay, Steven, you go first. Truth delivery system, a cleanish story with a lesson about a time you learned something embarrassing about yourself.
Oh, a clean-ish story.
Well, I mean, it's podcast,
Right.
But yeah.
But a story where I learned something about myself.
Well,
Where
you learned something embarrassing about yourself.
time that I learned something embarrassing about myself.
Yeah. Like Sammy found out, he said a little bit of pee, but Jamie doesn't care though.
No,
he loved
he's
him
off
anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Time that I learned
I
something.
couldn't resist. Dang it. So I'm teeing up.
Yeah.
You've never been embarrassed.
No,
It doesn't seem like
no, I absolutely have. I'm trying to going through the Rolodex of all of the
too
ones.
deep. Too
I'm
deep.
going too deep. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the most. No, so there was a time where I was so I rock climb as well. There was a time I was rock climbing. And the cool thing about rock climbing is there's like a community aspect to it. So you like make friends with a lot of people. And one of the guys I was talking to was a rock climber, and he was there with his son. And I was talking to the guy, and the more I was talking to him, I realized halfway through the conversation, he wasn't talking to me to become friends with me, but he was talking to me to try to help me be friends with his son,
Mm-hmm.
who's like 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at the time I was 26.
Oh,
So I
you were looking
realized
young.
that this guy was thinking that I was another teenager. And I immediately got like, I was like, I need to find a way out of this scenario because I can't be hanging out with a 13-year-old.
No.
Sakes.
How'd you talk to him?
I just immediately brought up, well, I'm a bartender.
Oh, there you go.
So like I bartend and I told him that I did drugs as well. Because I because I'm like I'm a bartender. Also, keep me away from your son.
Yeah, right.
If you want.
He may be one of my best customers coming out of your pocket.
I did the best thing I could do, which was tell the kid to stay away from me.
It's a graceful exit. So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was the lesson that you learned?
The lesson is I learned about myself that sometimes I look a lot younger than what I feel like.
Beautiful.
Um,
Yeah. And you still look young. You look great.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually 70 years old.
You stopped doing drugs too.
Yeah, I did. I did. It's
Every-
not,
Now it's only once every 2 days.
Yeah.
that's the Ozempic that I do.
Now, it's working.
Very working. Yeah. I went from 92 pounds to 91.
Now, Sammy, now you mentioned a little bit earlier about writing. Now, we've written music together, so of course a different beast, but there's a lot of things that are the same about it, right?
Yeah.
Because as an orator, as a comedian, you're singing in a different way. Let's put it like that. And so the question is, have you ever think about life? Have you ever taken some general misunderstanding that either you have about something or with somebody else, whether it's your wife or anybody in life? So you take a misunderstanding and then that becomes, you build a bit in your act. Can anything come to mind? As far as like something that's just like, oh my God, this happened. Some person thought this and this happened. And then anything like that become a bit or anything that you can bring to mind of a situation in life that just kind of happened. And then you,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I have a huge chunk about just my relationship with my wife, with huge misunderstandings and
there you go.
true stories that I obviously will exaggerate a little bit, but for the most part are basically true. Like there was one time that she was tickling me while I was driving, and I'm really ticklish, and she just didn't understand that it was dangerous. And
Right.
then I just didn't think about it, and I just like covered her face and mushed her like
Get
basic-
away. Yeah.
when she was driving to get her
Oh.
back at her.
Oh.
And and the car spun out of control.
You made her blind.
Yeah, the car spun out of control. I didn't think about it at all. And we ended up on the other side of the street. And it's funny because I say it just like in my joke, but she was mad, but not because we could have died.
Yeah.
She was mad because I messed up her Sharpie ass eyebrows. Like I took off half her makeup, and that's why she was mad. So I was like, okay,
Oh my
like
God.
priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's kind of understandable. And then you can talk about that, Kel. Like you've never seen. I saw you online, but of course I've seen a few of his shows. We'll be seeing you soon, Kel. But Sammy, it was the one where the old Keel bar.
Ron's place.
Remember when we were there, and I had a couple of friends with me that
Yes,
night?
yes.
So this was so funny. So Sammy's wife, Jamie, is right up front with his cousin Saul, and it basically went something like this. He was telling a joke, and then he said something about Jamie, his wife, and then the crowd goes, "Ooh!" Like you're going to get in trouble for that. He's just like, "Oh man, you guys don't worry about it. She doesn't even understand English." I laughed so hard at that one. That was fantastic. Now, both of you guys, we talked about your workplaces and stuff like that, and just like many artists, you have to pay the bills, especially when you keep, like Sammy keeps having kids and stuff like. Are you done, by the way?
I just have two.
Well, like you.
Came with my wife.
You had
The Brady
zero.
Bunch.
Yeah, and then you have one, then you have two. So are you stopped?
Yeah, I'm stopped.
Okay.
I didn't even want the two I have now.
Oh,
Going for that late term. Six and
close. Close.
Like you had to think about that first.
I thought you were talking about how old for the late term,
Now, how old are your kids?
No, they're 6
In the steps.
18.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they're up there.
Yes.
Quite the gap, huh?
She wanted to start over again.
She did.
So I'm telling you, misunderstandings.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Now, both you guys have, like I was saying, you have to work to pay the bills and things. And so, have you ever had a job that you absolutely hated, but it gave you material as a comedian?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of material bartending just because
People.
it's just
Yeah.
a sight. It's a very strange place to
I've
be.
always wanted to bartend.
Yeah.
Can't stand for that long.
Yeah, people give you material just by walking in. Yeah, absolutely. Anything where you're doing customer
Guys
service,
into a bar. Over.
any job where you're going to be doing customer service, where you're going to have to
Direct
interact with a lot of people, you're going to get some material because people are inherently very weird and interesting.
Yeah.
Especially in Reno. Reno people are
Awkward.
They're crazy. Wild.
Yeah, we get
Yeah,
a whole
yeah.
blend of stuff around here. Man, that
Oh, yeah.
walking into the bar thing, it reminded me of a good old, talk about an old Red Fox classic, right? So one of the first jokes that I learned by snagging my dad's old, like they were risque back in the day, Red Fox 8-track tapes, right? So this bar goes, a guy walks into a bar, says, "Bartender, give me a drink." The bartender's, "Sir, I can't serve you. You're obviously drunk. You're too intoxicated. I can't serve you." And the guy's like, "I'm not drunk." He goes, if I'm so drunk, how can I see that one-eyed cat that just walked into here? And then the bartender says, "Sir, that cat's leaving." It's go, oldie but goodie. It's always kind of, That's right. Now let's talk about Molman. There's a dark humor. Are you known for kind of dark humor?
I do some dark humor.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what I'm saying. I remember
It's not like what I do, but
Yeah.
dabble.
Yeah, and I like it. So let's talk. Then there's like what's it called? Lazy shock. Lazy shock, or when you're kind of like,
Right.
what is that?
Like just lazy shock humor.
Yeah.
Shock humor. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
easy
Yeah.
Exactly.
target.
And so, can you contrast those and kind of explain why you gravitate towards, the dark humor? Or
I gravitate towards the dark humor because I think a lot of comedians do this, especially when they're brand new. A lot of them just kind of have to find some way to get their own darkness out. You know what I mean? Because
That's
there's
a great point.
because there's a lot of people that do comedy and I do this as well. I do comedy in a lot of ways for one of the reasons is because there's not really a place to get some of my voice out in any other way. You know what I mean? So I do the dark stuff because there's not really another outlet that I enjoy where I can just, like, I can't go up to someone at Costco and then just do a joke about suicide or something, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's social things that prevent me from doing that. But if I'm on stage, I can joke about killing myself all I want.
Or even putting something like that on social media nowadays.
It's a risk.
It's actually
It's a risk.
not even by people, even by the
By the themselves. Right. That's a good point too. I never thought of that. True.
what makes dark humor work without being gross?
all kinds of dark.
I think the general rule when it comes to anything dark or offensive or edgy, quote, whatever, is it has to be more funny, like as funny,
Funnier as it is insulting.
funny than it is
Yeah.
insulting
Yeah.
or dark.
Or yeah.
I think when it
That's a
comes
great-
to like,
that's it.
I think when it comes to like dark humor and stuff, like the like easiest like antidote to that is like silly, like being silly, making it silly. No, yeah, January 1st. Oh, you're a New Year's baby. Damn. What? What did you say? You have autistic? You're half autistic. All right. Way to say that in a very autistic way. That's good. Good for you, man. I'm glad you're here and in the front row. That's awesome. But also, you can tell when a joke is lazy. Like, if you're up there just doing like puns about like Nazis or whatever, then it's like, dude, people in the crowd are like, dude, what are you even doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think people are like in the crowd and are in a way very telepathic. They know how much work that you're doing in this material, even if they don't actually know. You know what I mean? Because they can feel when a joke is bad or lame or
Right.
whatever. Because
Or when
if it's bad, then they're not gonna laugh.
And then when they can tell when you put effort into it, right?
Yeah.
So let's go through some quick hits. You guys know, just quick answers. Would you say like clean comedy, right? So no cussing, anything like this, clean comedy. Is that underrated or harder than
Hard.
hard?
Under-
Abe
Absolutely.
Bargatze. I mean, I watched this guy.
Brilliant.
And I used to be very not against it, but when somebody would ask me to do like, what is it called? Like
Clean stuff.
Clean show. Like, yeah.
clean show for like a corporate gig or something like that, where you got to be clean.
Right.
I'd just be like, no, I'm not clean, blah, blah, blah. And then clean's lame. But then you get people like you watch Nate Bargatze and just this.
Or Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan. Just the stuff that they're saying without any bad words, being raunchy or vulgar it's
And just
to
think-
me. So
And and those type of approaches, just think about, the crass stuff is going to kind of eliminate part of the marketplace. But if you're clean and you're going to get kind of the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so next one, quick hit, crowd work. We talked about Matt Rife. Do you love that or fear it? So if you start getting hecklers and stuff, which we'll hit on that next. But working with the crowd, do you guys like it or not?
I like it. I think
Uh-huh.
it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't as far. It's two sides of it. I like doing crowd work and I like when I'm up there and it's just off the cuff.
Right.
But what happens is all these people that are on Facebook and in social media now see those clips from these comics, and that's not what. And that they think that's what
They
comedy
think that's
is.
right.
That You're just gonna
Or-
go up there and riff, and you don't. And then yeah,
Or it encourages them to heckle.
Yeah.
Thinking
I don't like that
they're going to
either.
play.
Yeah.
and it can ruin like your punchlines, ruin your whole bit, ruin the joke, especially if
If
it's
they don't know how to play.
Yeah.
If they don't know what they're doing.
Okay, now let's go to a little social media marketing promotional question here. So things have gravitated where instead of like watching full videos, you got these short clips and reels and things like that. So has that helped you guys? Is it good for comedy, or are you thinking it's ruining the craft because they're not checking out the whole set?
That's a interesting.
I think
Tell them, Kel, that's my job, asking questions that makes them think.
I think in a lot of ways it makes it very difficult to get a capture of how the comedian actually is, because anyone can just like be good every once in a while for 60 seconds and then have a clip blow up. But then if you see a 20-minute set, it's like, well, they only had one or two good jokes. You know what I mean? So I think it can be
So
detrimental.
you're saying to
but-
that point, it's kind of, it can be false advertising.
in a way, but ultimately at the end of the day, no one's going to actually make a successful career even if they just have a few jokes or whatever blow up. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because ultimately cream rises to the top, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you get one viral thing and everybody thinks, oh, you're great. And that was your one viral thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's necessarily that the short clips are necessarily that problematic. It's just watching comedy online as opposed to, or even on Netflix, is so different than seeing it live.
So
different.
so different.
It's so much fun live.
It's-
That's how you got to
It's
do
hard
it.
to capture the environment.
Absolutely. We talked a little bit about hecklers. So now when this does happen, which of course I'm sure that you guys have had it happen. So do you guys choose to engage with them, ignore them, or choose to destroy them?
it depends. For me, it totally depends on the vibe. If it's somebody who's drunk and has been heckling the whole time or heckling all the comics and
Being
has
an asshole.
I will leave it alone. I won't touch it, especially if I'm opening. I'm not trying to spend any of my material time on somebody who is just, whatever. If it's somebody who just slips something in and says something that actually it's like, oh, I can use this and I can bring up the momentum and the energy and I can like segue this into my next joke, I will definitely use it.
Yeah.
So it just depends on what the energy of the heckle is. If it's like I said, if it's somebody who's just
Somebody trying to get attention or
I
from you.
will leave it. I
Yeah.
won't touch it. I'll leave it for them.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got you. Hey, Kel, we're going to have some fun right now.
Okay.
Okay. So in this segment right here, we're going to do something new and we're going to call it Two Truths and a Lie.
Okay.
Okay. So these guys are going to tell us 3 statements. So you're going to give us 3 statements, and then 2 of them are going to be the truth, and 1 of them is going to be a lie.
About ourselves.
Yes, about
Okay.
yourselves. So tell 2 truths and a lie, and then we're going to determine whether we think it's the truth, and then we'll see how everything's scored. Okay. So who wants to go first?
This is right for me.
This is he sat in the back of the class too. Yeah. All right. So 3 statements, and again, it could be anything. One time I was changing a tire, but whatever. So
Yeah. Okay. 2 truths and a lie. First one. I lost my virginity to a prostitute in Amsterdam. Second one is, I have pooped myself on mushrooms in my car. And second one is,
the third one.
yeah, the third one. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm an English major dropout.
That's
so,
all right.
Wait, the second one was you pooped to yourself.
On
on
mushrooms
mushrooms
in a car.
in my car.
Okay.
Right.
And then the third one is, I started drinking alcohol when I was 6 years old.
Those are good ones.
I
That's
started
pretty
when I was
good.
3.
That's So okay, you go
So
first.
2 of those are true.
So for the first one, which was he lost his virginity in Amsterdam. Do you think that's true or not?
I'm
He
bagging
lost
that
his
one.
virginity in
Yeah.
Amsterdam.
I think the other 2 are true.
What about
For
you?
some reason, I think that's true.
Do you?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know. Let's check it out. Now the second one was being on mushrooms.
That one I believe.
That's
Something
definitely,
about me just screams.
that's definitely true.
Well, that's
And
the kind of thing. Like of all things to make up,
Huh.
that's pretty obscure. Like
And then the last one, what happened when you were 6?
Started
started
drinking.
drinking.
I'm gonna say no, but you're gonna say yes because I know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's run it down. So the first one, did you lose your virginity in Amsterdam?
I did.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was weird.
I bet. Were you in one of the like store?
Red light district. Yep.
Oh my god! Right in the
Yep.
window and everything.
Oh,
Holy shit! How old were you?
I was 22.
Wow.
Man,
21, 22. I was.
It's only about 10 years ago.
You know what's crazy, Kel? I actually have a recording of the lover that he lost his virginity to, like right after that he was finished. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is
Yeah, the Twister's actually in Venezuela.
He was in Venezuela.
But
Amsterdam.
Virginity to somebody you love. I can imagine you have to pay for it and
Now, did you shit your
At least everybody knew what the deal was. Mine, 4 days later, he asked out another girl.
Oh man. So did you shit your pants on mushrooms? See? Kel?
oh yeah, I did.
I am so competitive. It's crazy. All right. So
So have a good trip.
yes.
No, no. When you're in the when you're it was a night of Halloween. I was on my way to like a sex positive party. I was in a sexy nun costume. And so when you're like about to enter the sex positive party and then you poop yourself on mushrooms, you're not having a good time. It kind of super.
I really went for it, you guys. Because you know what? I think the Catholic Church is full of shit.
That doesn't sound like it.
From the effects here. Okay, now Sammy, your turn. Okay, so 3 statements. 2 of them are true. 1 is a lie. Or wait, is that how we did it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
2 truths.
The truth and all-
I'll go with the virginity story too. And I lost my virginity while my mom, sisters, and my aunt was in the room
in the
in
room.
San Francisco
Oh my!
at a hotel.
Okay.
Right now I am currently fighting a legal battle because my dad got deported.
This is story number 2.
This is story number 2. here.
Okay.
And then number 3, we can go with, let's see. I dyed my hair blonde 2 weeks ago.
That we know.
I'm going.
I'm going to say that was true.
Now, the one where he lost his virginity, I too am going to say that is true. And the falsity is that he's going through a legal battle with his dad. I would like to think that I would know about that. There's a possibility that I don't, but that's what I think. What do you think?
I think I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Everything?
Yeah.
Like all the way top to bottom?
Yeah.
All right. Did you lose your virginity in front of your mom?
Losing. Yeah, no, it's none of them. We were watching Jumanji and they were distracted, and I was not.
Oh my
goodness. Yeah. Yeah. It was like in spur of the moment type of like not full. It wasn't full on, but it was the first time it ever like the second one. My dad. Yeah, my dad's not even alive. I'm just kidding. My dad's still here. Yeah, he got it. She's not in heaven. He got deported from there too.
Unbelievable.
That's great.
All right. Well, we did pretty good. You just got one wrong. That's pretty good for a girl. No, she knows why I am definitely joking on that one.
It's so funny.
Cat will fuck me up. No.
I'm sure she will.
All right. So let's do some improv punchlines. Okay. Okay. You guys ready? Improv punchlines. You're going to finish these sentences. Steven first. I knew it was going to be a long night when
I pooped myself on mushrooms.
In a non-costume.
Yeah.
Sex positive party.
People are dressed like really sexy. There's like a stripper pole and stuff like that. So it wasn't
Anything goes.
Yeah. It wasn't like a straight up orgy or anything.
5-star saloon.
I got it.
Yeah, but even more gay.
I love it. All right, Sammy. My love language is unfortunately.
What?
Your love language is unfortunately
So is it two?
XYZ. So
Unfortunately,
my
your love language is this one.
What is your love language?
That's a better sentence
Yeah.
structure. Good job.
What is my okay? My love. Okay, say it again.
Unfortunately, my love language is.
Taco Bell. I don't know.
That might work.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
I know a few women that would absolutely agree with your statement.
Sure.
All right. Now we have this little segment here. We're winding down here. Today's a shorter show. We got to clear out the studio, and these guys got to get home to their families and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and keep going through. So this one is what's the verdict? So it's basically you guys say basically, hey, I agree with this or I don't agree with it, and then just a short reason why. Okay. And then so the first one, Sammy, comedy is therapy. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
And why?
You just have an outlet, and sometimes you're brewing on something, and you have somewhere that you can, work it out, and also make people laugh at the same time and be relatable.
I love it. Steven, thumbs up or thumbs down? What's the verdict? You can joke about anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think if you can't joke about something, that just means you're not good at it yet.
Yes, and sometimes you guys would probably agree, depending on what or who it is. There's a little bit of time sometimes that needs to pass by, and that's where too early, you guys.
As long as it's funny, you can joke about anything as long as it's funny and you can make it people laugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sammy, if people get offended, that's their problem. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down. Why? Why is it not their problem?
Because you should be able to relay whatever you're trying to say and not really offend them if you do it right.
Yeah, but if they do,
and you see
what I'm saying? If you're aware,
If you're being deliberately offensive, that's one thing.
okay.
But if you're just being you and people take it to it, that's a them
It's a them problem. Yeah, of course. I mean, some people out there just ready to get offended for anything.
got you.
So,
Yeah, snowflakeism.
All right. How about this, Steven? Crowd work is actually a cheat code. Thumbs up or
Yeah,
thumbs down?
I'd say thumbs up.
Why?
Not always, but with the way that people do it with social media and marketing, then I think it absolutely is. I don't know if it's a
Do you think people when
Yes, but
when there's
no.
a crowd work thing going on, and then the person or people that the comedian is interacting with, do you think that it's a kind of natural turbo boost for them to think it's more funny because they're actually part of the show?
I think it's that,
A
and
little bit
also
more octane, so to
and
speak.
I think it's also like the spontaneity of it makes it seem more funny because
Right.
even if you're just a little bit clever, even if it's not like the funniest joke ever, if it's just a little bit clever or in the moment, then it's just going to kill.
And it's not necessarily a bad thing that it is a cheat code. It is a cheat code, I feel.
Absolutely.
But I don't think it's a bad thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's a much needed skill for comedy.
Yeah,
You need
And
to
at
be
the
able to
same
do it.
time, it's
cheat code,
it's not easy
cheating.
to do.
Yeah.
It's still not easy.
It's still not easy to do. Right? Okay, how about this, Sammy? Posting your clips on social media, on the internet. It's just mandatory. There's not even any kind of choice. Is that a thumbs up or thumbs down?
I just started posting clips. I haven't been doing this for 10 years. I haven't posted anything until just now because I feel like it is a mandatory thing.
Okay.
People want to see just a little clip of whatever it is that you're doing, and it's just a way to.
It's a familiar.
Yeah.
And comedy clubs and a lot of bookers won't even book you unless you have a social media following.
Mhm. Yeah.
They're just like, well, if you don't even have 10,000 followers, then we're not even going to, even if you're good, it's like there's no audience
Yeah.
for you. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, I think that's wrong, because comedy is one of those rare things where there can be a complete offline rage and you'd
Right.
never know it online.
Yeah.
That's unfair.
Yeah.
That's very unfair.
All right, last one. Steven, we talked
Bands
about
are saying-
bombing, right? So thumbs up or thumbs down. A good bomb makes you better,
Yeah, even a bad bomb makes you better.
right?
I will say when it comes to making you better, you're only going to get better if you actually learn the lessons from bombing. Because I've seen people bomb for 20 years and not get better.
Illusion. People bomb and the room goes silent for whatever their allotted time was. And then I'll be like, oh, rough one. And I've
They'll be
literally
like,
they'll
"Oh,
be
they
like,
killed, man. That
nailed
was
it."
great.
Like, oh, okay. Well, now I know how to deal,
Yeah,
They
they're
did
coming
great.
from.
I just tell everybody they did a great set, unless it's somebody I'm really friends with or they're asking for it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like that kid from your neighborhood that sang at the church choir,
Yeah.
and everybody told him how wonderful he was, and now he goes on, America's
Got
Most
Talent.
Wanted, or America's Most Wanted, America's Got Talent,
Sometimes. Yeah.
and thinks he's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of that.
Well, that was like the biggest thing on like American Idol, where you would see people show up to in front of Simon Cowell or whatever, thinking that they're going to be the best thing ever, and Simon Cowell just tears them apart.
rips
Oh, yeah, that was part of that was some of the best parts of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So matters of facts, you guys. Excuse me. So I'm going to kind of go through these bullet points, which are again matters of fact. If there's anything that you disagree with, I'm just chime in. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of roll through them. And in a spirit of, if there's anybody out there that's thinking about getting into comedy or other forms of entertainment, here's some matters of fact. Nerves before performances are normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Repetition builds confidence. So there's some truth with, eventually you got to jump in the pool, right? And the more you do it, the better you get. Now, here's one that many people struggle with, beginning, middle, and end. But how important, let's go ahead and comment on this. How important is the matter of fact, that sleep, alcohol consumption or overindulgence, stress, all these things change timing and judgment that tie into, your performance as a comedian. Those are things. Have you just continued to throw caution to the wind, Sammy, and just stay up all night in spite of, having to work? No, I'm just kidding, of course. But you guys talk about how important taking care of yourself is, getting a good amount of sleep, preparing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it really depends. I mean, there's certain things that I used to do before when I first started. Certain drugs that involve your nose and stuff and straws and dollar bills and, that would just totally take everything out of my set. It was like I was reading a script that had no personality. And those are the things that I would I would even stay away from coffee, caffeine, anything that's an upper for me makes me very jittery and I get fast and nobody really understands what the hell's going on because I'm very energetic when I'm on stage. So I really have to dial it back, even to the other point to where having a beer will really kind of chill me down a little bit to where I'm more mellow. But you can definitely get to the point where anything is too much, no sleep, too much beer. I've had people go on stage, comics who've been doing this for years, go up there and just ramble and repeat the same joke, because they're just so drunk. And so there's got to be a balance to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this last matter of fact. And I want you guys to talk about where people can find the clips, show dates, and things like that. So this last one here. So matter of fact, Kel, what people need to do is they need to go see live comedy, and they need to tip your comics and your bartenders, right? Especially local, right? These guys they're not big time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, tip these guys. Be a good crowd,
Yeah.
be appropriate. Yeah. And, have a good time and stuff like that, but don't get too drunk.
Loud.
Yeah, laugh at
Make
me.
us know that you're actually enjoying the show.
Yeah. And you do all these things and you're going to have more fun in life. So, Steven, real quick. So where can you're on Instagram, right? At Malman_comedy. Correct. And then where else can people find you?
On YouTube and TikTok, also under Molman_comedy. Yeah. I know I have YouTube streams every Monday and whatnot. So yeah, that's where you can find me as well.
Okay.
Also, my website is just StevenMolmanComedy.com. So you can go there as well.
Beautiful. And that's STEPHANEN. And then last name Molman, MOLLMAN.
Correct.
All right. Now, Sammy, how about you? Where can people find you? At Sammy Solorio, Instagram.
Yeah, underscore.
The underscore is the last thing.
Yeah.
At Sammy Solorio _
Yeah.
Okay. And then where else can they find you?
I mean, I'll put all my dates on Instagram. My home club here in Reno is Reno Tahoe Comedy. So anytime they have any sort of show, I'll probably be a part of it somehow. And then, yeah, anything else I'll put on my social media.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then finally, Steven, a little bit more, tell people what the Midnight Snack is and where to watch it.
Yeah. So the Midnight Snack is a weekly talk show that I do with my best friend, Chris. We do it Mondays at 9 p.m. on YouTube. It's a live talk show where it's just dinner with friends. And so sometimes we have guests come over and we make them dinner. We talk about food, we talk about comedy, other things that we like. So yeah, check it out. And that's, again, just on YouTube at Molman Comedy as well.
At Malman Comedy. Awesome, awesome. Now, last question, you guys. Sammy, you go first. What kind of show should people come to expect if they've never seen you live and they're coming to see you for the first time?
I think myself as a storyteller, I think I'm just kind of relatable. I talk about personal things that I guess anybody else would be experiencing. I talk a lot of shit about my wife, my kids, and it's just all, I guess, I think it's just storytelling and relatability.
Awesome, awesome. Steven, how about you? What can people expect if they come see you for the first time?
So if you watch my comedy, I'm a little silly and I'm absurd, but I got some darkness in me. I talk a lot about what it's like being queer, just in life and in Reno. Yeah, and I'm just kind of this weird sex-crazed person up on stage.
The one thing that I did want to bring up was the energy part that I learned from being a musician and playing with you and like learning from a front man. I really took that into my role as a comedian because
you have some of the best energy in Reno.
Yeah, I like to go up there and for me, my mindset is like rock star, not rock star necessarily, but performance. I'm coming up here. I want the crowd, I'm going to make it loud. And, so it's been a big influence. I think my music background has become a big influence in my comedy.
I love it.
It helps out your stage presence a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's like, if the G-Man can do it, I can do it.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. I love it. All right, you guys. Well, heck. All right. That's what's the matter. If you laughed with us today, do two things. Okay. Share this episode with somebody who needs it. And go support live comedy because, I don't know, man, best nights, they still happen in real rooms with real people. Okay, so big thanks to the sponsor of the show, World Matters Incorporated, creator, producer, Big Bongo Productions, and shout out to KPGF 93.7 FM and all the great FM shows who are part of the America Matters media family. Real quick teaser for next week. Episode 39, Kel. What's the matter with promoting? We're bringing back an overdue business detective segment and the amazing Adrian Ashley, who will be talking about her company, Wow Is Me.
Are we doing it Wednesday?
Yeah, well, on the, not this next Wednesday, so the 23rd, I think it is. And so, yeah. So Miss Adrian Ashley, now you can check out wowisme.net. Check out her How to Turn Wild Ideas into Funded Startups mission. Yes, so we'll talk about content, influence, strategy, and how founders of businesses can position themselves for real traction, real revenue in the coming year and the next quarter century. So until then, I'm the G-Man for Kel. Stay curious, stay kind, and remember, what you say matters. See you.